What did you guys really want to do with this press conference?
People come to E3 to find out what we're going to do to help drive the platform. In our case, we've got 3 platforms. So for us, it's about wrapping up all those plans, all those great products in a bow, and showing them off for the rest of the world to see. And I think in a little bit less than 2 hours, we demonstrated an unrivaled software lineup that's going to drive the PS3, the PSP, and keep the PS2 going into its 9th year, demonstrating that 10-year product life cycle that we talk about. At the same time, we talked about a lot of momentum behind the PlayStation Network and found time to introduce a new hardware unit, the PSP Go.
Let's talk about the PSP Go. You guys have obviously redesigned the PSP several times already. Why did you decide to do it again?
From our perspective, we know that consumers are becoming more and more comfortable with digital. And as Kaz talked about, we've talked to the development community, we've talked to consumers and asked what they wanted. And what they were looking for was a sleeker design, better connection to the PlayStation Network. And the PlayStation Go, got it here for you. It's an incredibly slick device. It's a product that is going to target the guy and gal that are very comfortable downloading digital content and taking advantage of the new media interface, Media Go, which allows you to have a digital locker so you can store that data. 16 gigs on a flash drive in here, plus memory stick micro for expandable storage. So it's a really sweet device that we think is going to be taking the market by storm coming October 1st.
Now, what about the people like me who has this huge UMD collection? Is there any way to get that content onto the PSP Go if I buy one?
We're actually looking into that, and we know that people do have a library. The good news is that library doesn't go away, and if you've got the library, you've probably got a PSP. We're looking into that to see if there's some way to get those files converted to a digital format as well.
Now, what are the differences sort of physically between the Go and the PSP? I know the screen size is a little bit smaller on the Go, right?
It's a tiny bit smaller, but basically this is a lighter unit. It's a smaller unit. It's 40% lighter than the first PSP to come out. Popping it into your pocket is no problem. The screen size really maintains that same fidelity of the PSP screen. Great for gaming, great for watching movies. The other thing that we talked about is that tighter connection to the PlayStation Network. So another thing that we announced today was the native PSP video store. So you no longer have to tie it to the PC or your PS3 to get that content down. I could access it right here from this wireless hotspot, go onto the video delivery service, and download some of the best TV and movies out there.
Well, let's shift to the PlayStation 3. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges you guys have had over the last 12 months?
PlayStation 3 for us, we started off the new fiscal year with Killzone 2. It couldn't have been a better start for us. It's a game that people have been waiting for. And from my perspective, we're not going to take our foot off the throttle. We're going to go from that to Infamous, which is a game that is taking the market by storm as we speak. By my count, we've got 14 games for Blu-ray disc just from Sony alone. We've got some great exclusive content coming from third parties, some surprise announcements with a new game from Rockstar, Final Fantasy XIV. So really an embarrassment of riches on the PlayStation 3. And again, could have been more gratified to hear the audience, which is sometimes a bit of a jaded audience, hard to keep them happy, hooting and hollering and standing ovations with some of these announcements.
It's my pleasure to introduce Evan Wells, co-president of Naughty Dog, to show you Uncharted 2: Among Thieves.
Now, would you agree with me that software really hasn't been a problem for you guys the last year and a half? You guys have really put out a steady stream of really great games, right?
I think we've got a great lineup of software going back to last year, and again, I think the lineup this year tops that. So oftentimes, we get the question, what are you going to do for an encore? And it's something that we take seriously, but I think the lineup this year speaks for itself.
I think the big question probably everyone has is they look at your software, it's great. You guys have put out AAA game after AAA game. The price, I think, is what really concerns people with the PlayStation 3. And you guys did not announce a price drop today. Was there a reason for that? Is that something we can expect in the near future?
From our perspective, it's all about the content here at E3. It's not the time to be talking about price moves, so we're very confident that between this lineup, between the growth of the PlayStation Network, we've got a great story to tell and got a lot to get the gaming community excited about.
Now, you guys announced Final Fantasy XIV exclusive to the PlayStation 3. Huge news. Now, that's obviously going to be an MMO, an online game. Will that be served on your servers? Will that be served on Square's servers? Have you guys worked out those details yet?
It's a little premature to start talking about some of those details. We know we're going to get a ton of questions because everyone's really intrigued by the whole Square announcement. But we'll leave that for another day as we work those details out with Square and Enix.